Good evening, everybody. Hey, thank you. Say, Joel Beiswinger, CEO at Astera Health. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you to our 2023 Starlight Gala event. First, a round of applause for all the folks who helped put this on. Certainly our staff, Ryan and Maddie. The army of volunteers, led by my boss at home, Kim, but literally dozens and dozens of volunteers who have put in hundreds of hours to help make this happen. Let's have a round of applause for those folks. Thank you all. Appreciate everything that you do and who you are and how you help us. So again, this event, which supports our foundation, is really this year, its focus specifically is to help the foundation meet its goals to the Astera building project. We did a capital fund drive. We set a goal of $3 million and we beat it. So congratulations to everybody involved in that. Thank you very much. Our foundation made a sizable pledge. We need to raise about $40,000 tonight. So think about that as we're getting into the bidding. Then they can satisfy their pledge for this project, and 2024 becomes a focus on the next big thing, the Cancer Center. We're extraordinarily excited about that coming to our region and our communities. And we've got our partners in that. The table over here, the folks from Center Care, who are partnering with us to make that happen. Several of those folks, thank you all. Joe, Don, all the folks from Center Care. So please open your wallets, open your hearts as we're into the bidding tonight to help us finish this pledge and move on to the next big thing. So that's enough of that. Now I get to have the very exciting prospect of awarding something tonight to somebody who really is very near and dear to my heart, somebody who has put a great deal of effort in. We call this the Jack Brown Visionary Award. Jack was a longtime member of the Tri-County Healthcare Astera Board, the Brown family, several of whom are here tonight. Ryan, Monica, thank you for being here tonight, and the support of Wadena State Bank. Big legacy members of the Astera family. We named this award after Jack for all the work that he did to help our future. So tonight, the recipient of that is I think the longest term board member we've ever had, Luther Nervig. Now I'm going to talk about you a little bit. And we're excited that Luther's got several family members here. Besides Marilyn, his daughters Marin and Sarah, and brother John. So excited to have them with us. So a little story about Luther. I've known Luther since 1986 when I came to Tri-County and Wadena the first time. And I came back in 98, and he was the same force that he was after I'd been gone for 10 years. Luther served on our board for 40 and a half years. Started in the board in 1970. At that time, we were still the Wesley Hospital Association, right? We became Tri-County Hospital when the then new hospital was built in 1974. I heard a story from both Luther and Jack about a trip to Chicago that they made to help secure the financing with the Farmers Home Administration to get that building built. And then they renamed, of course, Tri-County Hospital. So again, Luther's time with the board dates all the way back to then, and thinking a little bit about what was going on at that time. This is not to show how old you are, Luther, but how long you've been committed to our organization. Medicare was only 4 years old when Luther joined the board. It's pretty amazing to think about. We built the new hospital in 1974. Our first satellite clinics came in 1981. Big part of what. Our first computer system came in 1982. I think you were on the board 12 years before we ever had a computer in the building. In 1970, the organization had 140 employees, 9 physicians, no advanced practice providers back then, PAs or nurse practitioners, and a $714,000 budget. Today, we have 470 employees, 43 physicians and providers, and a $75 million budget. Think about that legacy, Luther. Now, Luther retired from our board in 2010, after, again, 40 and a half years of service. He was the chair 8 years throughout that time, including 3 successive years when we were doing a large building project on the other campus. And he served with 5 different administrators or CEOs over that time. Big part of what we're honoring Luther for tonight, though, is his work with the foundation. He was the guiding force to start the Tri-County Foundation back in 1994, helping to secure at that time a very large gift of $50,000 that helped to start the build of our endowment fund, which I know is a very important thing for our foundation and certainly in Luther's concepts of how foundations work. His work through his law firm, through his commitment to the communities, the people he knew, has helped our endowment grow to over $2 million now today. What an accomplishment. That endowment generates over $90,000 a year to help in all of our work, our scholarships, our grant making, our programming, so it's making a huge difference. Luther Health. Do you have me back? Okay. Worked and helped on 3 different big capital fund drives. The first one in 1972, which built the 74 hospital. Again, in a major addition remodeling in 2002 as board member, and then through the foundation for the Astera building here this last couple of years. And Luther retired from the Astera Foundation board just this past couple of months. So that's a 53-year commitment to the organization and the communities we serve. So Luther, congratulations on receiving the Jack Brown Visionary Award. Thank you. I say thank you for your leadership, your vision, your hard work. I will thank your family for sharing you with us for all those years because it took a lot of time and energy. So Luther, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you've done. And we're going to miss you on the board, but know that you won't leave us as a friend and continuing to input to what we do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you want to say a few words?
I would say one word. I'm just... Oh. Now, I've got the microphone, and you don't ever let a retired attorney just walk away from a live mic. So what I'm going to say are 2 things. Number 1, I accomplished all this because of my wife, Marilyn, who backed me up whenever she manned the house while I was there at a hospital meeting. So thanks to Marilyn for all this. Secondly, I've said many times over the years that the hospital is the economic engine of this community for 2 reasons. Number 1, people would not choose to live here or come here if they were not able to receive quality medical services, and we can provide that. Secondly, the hospital is the largest employer in this community, and so you can see the economic benefit of having that large employer. So, and thanks to everybody here who supports this hospital. We've done well because we've all had the same goal, to keep improving, to get better, to beat our competition, and we've done that. So we're proud of everything that happened. Thank you for tonight, and enjoy the evening.